Hello, welcome back to my next video on Vedic astrology. In this video I am going to talk about the possibility of a great person, a great soul, a superhero or a super person being born either on the 15th of September or the 16th of September 2014. This falls on a Monday and Tuesday. The reason for that is that there is a very peculiar planetary position that's happening on this date. The most important fact is that the two major planets, Jupiter and Saturn, are exalted. So that's the basis for this, and that's not all. They are in mutual kendras, which means for 4 lagnas, in case of 4 ascendants, you will have them also in a kendra house. That's the possibility. And then Mercury is exalted and Sun is in its own house, Mars is also in its own house, Rahu is well placed in Kanya along with Mercury, and Ketu is placed in the sign of Jupiter, where Jupiter is looking at Ketu. All these plus points except one small, as we always expect, one small problem is that Venus is not in a good spot. Long time ago, a famous psychologist, Walter Mischel, did what later on became famous as the marshmallow test, in which he conducts an experiment on a group of children. I think you must watch this video. I mean, at the time he did the experiment, he had nothing to predict, but he used it very well. After many years, he found out that what he expected became true. In the same way, I am now going to discuss a horoscope that one day, maybe 15 years from now or 20 years later, you will all come to know that indeed one great soul has taken birth on one of these 2 days. On 15th Monday, Vishtikarna ends at 6:46. Surely the birth is after 6:46, and the opportunities are very good from that time onwards. And of course then Ashtami starts at 19:05 Indian Standard Time. So until that time it is extremely good, and after that also it is not that bad. A mere one single factor called Ashtami alone would not actually take away the positive effects. On the next day, right from midnight until 16:51 Indian Standard Time, the period is very good, which is on Tuesday 16th September, and thereafter the most unfavorable yoga called Vyatipata, which starts at 16:51 Indian Standard Time, ends this good time. So birth must surely be between the 6:46 Indian Standard Time of 15th Monday September 2014 to 16:51 on 16th September 2014. With regard to the karmic planets, this is how the sky would be on 15th or 16th of September 2014. Moon is exalted and it goes through Rohini and Mrigashira. These 2 stars are very much liked by Moon, and if you recall, Lord Sri Krishna was born when Moon happened to be in the star called Rohini, the constellation called Rohini over here, right in the middle. So that happens on 15th. So Jupiter is exalted, and Saturn is exalted, Mercury is exalted, and Rahu gets influenced by Mercury, so he also becomes another Mercury. And Venus and Sun. Sun is in his own house. The only problem, of course, is with Venus here. And then Ketu here in the 9th, does very well in Pisces, because it is a spiritual sign, a spiritual planet in the spiritual place, because this is the 12th house in the natural Kala Purusha. If you take the first sign as this and then go and reach here as 12, so 12 is moksha. So Ketu is supposed to do very well. Ketu is supposed to give very good results, especially because Jupiter is by his 9th house aspect is looking at Ketu. There are certain possibilities of the birth taking place either in this lagna, where you get a Pancha Mahapurusha Yoga, which is called Hamsa Yoga, and simultaneously you get Shastra Yoga, Saturn in the 4th, exalted, and this is also very good. And you have the Lagnadhipati or the Lord of Lagna exalted in the 11th. So that would, exalted in the 11th means the person would live very long, usually cross the age of 90, very possible for a very long life if this is the Lagna. And fantastic yogas, it looks very good. It's also possible that the Lagna is here, in which case Jupiter is exalted in the 7th, the Lord of the 7th in the 5th exalted, could be an expert in mantra shastras and be a very nice person. And with Saturn in the 10th, the great possibility that this person could be very much into spirituality, because Magar Lagna itself or Kumbha Lagna supports that. Of course, the point here is Mercury in the 9th as the 9th Lord, God support and support of the divine, doing good work. So it's possible that someone who has been born to restore Dharma in an adharmic world, the possibility of that birth is there during this time. Another possibility is the Lagna can also be here, in which case you get the 5th and 4th Lord exalted in Lagna, and this gives rise to a Shasha Yoga, and then Jupiter also gives rise to a Hamsa Yoga. So you, in most cases, in these four places, one here, one or this house or this house or this house, you will get two Panchamahapuruša Yogas straight away. No questions asked. But it is also good that if you do a research on, through all the 12 Lagnas, and then keep shifting and then keep studying the Bhava chart, and to find better times within this framework. This planetary position can get wasted if, for example, a person is born, let's say here in Sagittarius Lagna, where Moon goes to the 6th house, Jupiter goes to the 8th house, and Mars in the 12th is troublesome. So you missed all the good points. My personal opinion on this date is, since it is Rohini Nakshatra, there is the possibility that an extraordinary divine person may be born. But in case this is the Lagna, then a great king, a great politician, even that is also possible, or a great, a person who covers the mass. So in most cases, in all these Lagnas I discussed, surely there will be the mass following, the attraction by the masses. So that is because Saturn is involved and Jupiter is also involved. This is actually an experiment, and only maybe 10 years later or 15 years later or sometimes even 40 years later, we may find out who was that particular person who took birth during these 2 days. And I personally prefer the birth in, I personally feel that the extraordinary person is likely to be born in Rohini Nakshatra more than Mrigashira Nakshatra, in case it is connected to the divine aspect. And if it is Mrigashira, then it is possible that the person can turn out to be a great leader, a great politician who can lead a big nation into a mighty, a superpower. So I think these are the two possibilities. So only time will tell. Like in Shakespeare, King Lear, one of the characters in that play says, only time will tell. So let's see in the future. So I'm sure you will have a lot of questions to ask about this particular video. And I think many of my YouTube viewers have already sent an email saying that I think the date must be 15th or 16th. I'm glad that there are more and more followers of Vedic astrology. It's now becoming so easy for us to do research, and with the internet as our tool, I'm sure we can take Vedic astrology to a great height. Thank you so much for watching this video, and until my next video, goodbye.